Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.
Oh, thanks for welcoming me.
Nicki Farmer.
Hello.
You know what? It's fall. That means flannel shirts.
That's right.
It's a little chill in
Turtlenecks.
the air. Turtlenecks. It's cold in the cabin.
Yeah, it is.
Now, as we see before us, apples. I know where you're going here.
Mm-hmm.
I put something on Facebook the other day. You made a pie, and it was so pretty I had to take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Whose recipe?
My Grandma Solomon's.
Grandma Solomon.
My dad's mom.
Now, she did a little something extra.
She did.
Not just apples.
Pecans.
We took it a step further.
You did, because you always add great things.
I didn't put butterscotch pieces, even though I was tempted.
No, that would have been good.
But we wanted to put some raisins and some honey.
Good idea.
Now, as we move and progress and do more and more stuff ourselves and have more stuff sitting on our shelves that we produced, such as our beautiful lard.
Yes.
And let me tell you what, is there anything that makes better apple pie crust than homemade lard?
No, this is the best crust I've ever made.
What is it that makes it, I mean, what have you noticed different?
It was just, it came together better and it wasn't crumbly. It was perfect and it tastes delicious.
We got our own honey,
Yay.
which we're going to add to the apple pie. This time of year, we're thinking about apples. We were looking for ideas last week. We went shopping. We got some apple cider. I mixed something up that is no problem at all. It's not brain surgery. It's very simple stuff. And you're going to have you a wonderful warm drink when it's cold like this to take the chill off. And man, it was cold this morning. We got a frost. One thing I do want to say to our viewers, they're not our viewers, they're our friends and extended family, our country kitchen folks. Sometimes don't you wish that you'd have spent a little more time with your grandparents, maybe your grandpa Kalakarinas, listening to his stories, learning a few more Greek words. With your grandmother, they pulled you in and said, let's do this. So it's time to understand that with Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen, it's a show about preserving traditions, food traditions in America, and saving those things forever.
Right.
Those memories are so important from your parents. Get those recipes from your parents and your grandparents while you still have them. And you know what? Someday you're going to think back. You want to protect that legacy for your children, pass those things down. Isn't it wonderful to know that Grandma Solomon had a recipe here?
She didn't write it down. She kind of throws it together.
Let's throw some together.
All right.
All right, how do you start?
Well, we're going to start with apples. And we got some Granny Smith apples here.
All right. We just pruned our apple tree down in the yard. That's our next project. I think we got to get some folks from UK to come talk about us. These extension office folks are great. UK people are great. Last week they came out and looked at our critters. We know what kind of shape they're in now. Great resource. And a lot of times you can look up on their website.
All right.
So how many apples are you going to put in? Is this for one pie?
This is for one pie.
Okay.
And I have kind of a thinner pie. You'll see my pie pan's a little smaller because I like them to bunch up. But you can do however thick you want, how many apples. I did 7. That seems like a good number for me.
Now, another thing you can do and put up, and we have not done this, but Miss Helen did this. Remember Miss Helen that made fried apple pies?
Those are good.
She put up her own filling. It's in a jar. It's ready to go. We need to do something with her again. She was so sweet.
Yes, she was.
And made the best fried apple pies ever. And a lot of the stuff I'm referring to, let's go ahead and talk about it right now while we got a minute. If you haven't seen our stuff before, we have quite an online library of recipes at timfarmerscountrykitchen.com, how-tos, all sorts of fun stuff and doing it yourself. Once you get done with that, go over to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Facebook page and like it. See what we're doing, where we're going. It's a lot of fun to talk with you guys and share recipes and thoughts and so on and so forth. Fall is upon us. Don't you love fall?
I do. I love it.
Beautiful.
I love cooking in the fall.
Yeah, you can bake and not have to worry about heating the house up. And our bees have been very busy. I've been watching them come and go. They've been packing stuff in. Every day where it's fairly warm, they're still packing stuff in. In a little while, we're going to check in with Alan, the bee dude, and see what he's got going on. We're going to take a look at our bees, see what they're doing, because I like my honey.
I know you do.
There's so much stuff you can use it. I have it every day in my coffee, local honey. Well, that's pretty local when it's, 50 yards from the house. All right, what's the next part, Mrs. Farmer?
All right, this is what she really didn't measure, and I always like, well, how much of that, how much of that? She would put, and I believe, about a half a cup of flour.
Okay.
So we're going to do that. Back in the day, that's all they did was cook all day long, and they didn't measure, they just made stuff.
They've done it. I mean, you didn't go to the store and buy pies, you made pies.
Right, and they made pies every day.
Pie safes.
Yeah.
Thing of the past.
Yeah. Sugar, I'm just going to put some in there. What do you think? About a quarter of a cup, third of a cup? What do you think?
Say that was exactly a quarter of a cup.
Quarter of a cup, all right. Got to have a little bit of salt. Got to have a little bit of salt and everything. Maybe half a teaspoon, a couple shakes.
Allspice.
Got to put some allspice. Let's put.
Have you noticed how much allspice we're using? What is it, a fall
know.
thing? What's going on?
It is. It's about half a teaspoon of
I would
that.
say that's right.
She didn't measure. You can't measure. You got to use your hands when you're grandma.
What's this?
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Yes. All right, if you want to stir that around.
All right. All right.
Okay, and some people just throw their apples in and throw this mixture on top, but I kind of like to mix it. All right. Now, we got to get our special little chopper that I love.
When we bought this, you know, that's the great thing about the stuff that we used to look for at antique places or flea markets that I used to ignore.
Yeah.
Now we look for the old kitchen stuff.
It's the best thing ever.
Now, how much pecans was that?
That's about a half a cup of pecans.
So this was her deal. She liked
Yeah.
the pecans in her.
Just something a little extra to put in there, something different, give it a little.
Then we just took it one step further. You know how when you have in the fall, we eat more oatmeal and you put apples in it and raisins and things like that. I started thinking, why not raisins and why not honey?
Yeah.
I didn't do any butterscotch pieces, even though I thought about it. That wouldn't have hurt anything, would it?
I like your raisin idea and your honey. How about we stick with that? You know,
I'm just
it probably would be good. I don't know.
I love my butterscotch pieces.
All right, this is your secret ingredient, which I think is going to be wonderful. We're going to put those
Apples and raisins. Now, if you don't like raisins, or wee-wees, as my sister used to call them.
Wee-wees.
I think that's well mixed.
I do too. Good job.
How good a job did I do?
You did
On a
really
scale of 1
good.
to
You're
10.
great. You did an 11.
A good mixer. All right, now what?
Now we got to make pie dough and stuff and finish it out.
All right, I'll tell you what let's do. Let's clean this up before we go to the next step. Alan's coming over to check my fall honey situation. Now, obviously, the bees have to have enough to get them through the winter.
Right.
But if they have enough on that top box, and there's enough in there for us, we'll take that.
Yum.
Would you take some fall
I
honey
would.
if they gave it to us?
So we leave some for the bees and we get some for us.
Yes.
That's what they live on.
Let's check with Alan to see how our bees are doing. What's next, Mrs. Farmer?
Let's make us some awesome pie dough.
All right, now keep in mind, this is lard.
Oh, I love
Now, this just isn't any lard. This is our lard.
Huh?
Look at this.
Smell that and look at that.
Look at that. We rendered this down
It smells good.
fairly quickly, and we still got that light of color. Look at that. Look at that.
Isn't that nice?
Wait, how many scoops are you going to
I'm
look?
going to put 3.
That is not in any way processed, bleached. That's just pure lard.
Wonderful. I do that. And then let's put some sugar in there.
That
Gotta
much?
sweeten up your dough, yeah, just a little hit there. And then I'm gonna do about a cup and a half of flour in this. I think that's gonna get us, as our pie plate's actually kind of little, so shouldn't need that much.
I was always fascinated by this part.
Okay, see how this lard is so wonderful. I mean, it's not chunky. See how it's just mixing right in this dough? That's the best ever.
Consistency?
Yes.
Does it make a difference?
Yes. Put a little water in there for me if you would.
Okay, say when.
Just a little bit. We'll have to keep adding a little bit. Okay, a little bit more. Okay. That might be good.
Instead of looking at the amount of water that we're not measuring,
Yeah.
look at the consistency. Look
Right,
what's
get the
happening
dough like
here.
you like it. And I like the texture of this dough. It's really good. All right, we're gonna break it in half because I'm gonna use half for the bottom, and then we'll need half for the top later.
Makes sense.
I'm telling you, this lard makes the best dough. And it doesn't break, it doesn't crumble. I've never had dough work this good. It's almost like I bought it at the store. It's so perfect.
You know, now they're saying lard in its purest form is heart healthy, omega-3 type stuff,
And yours is so good.
and so easily done. Beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Gotta have more sugar.
Oh, sugar, it's a pie.
I like to sugar up
It's a pie.
it's a pie, that's right. Now, we'll take this wonderful mixture we made.
Now, this may seem simple. You may say, okay, they're just making apple pie. But you know what? This isn't any apple pie. This is Grandma Solomon's
That's right.
apple pie with a twist.
She'd have loved your twist. Okay, now, before you put your special ingredient, I'm gonna do what she used to do. She took a whole lemon.
Okay.
I love these old lemon.
With the holes in them?
Yes, because it gets rid of the seeds. Put this all over it. Gotta have lemon juice in there.
Gives you just a little tart in there.
Yeah. And she'd take a half a stick of butter, because it's good for you.
Oh, yeah. We're not telling you that's the only way it can be done. This is just the way we do
Right.
it. We're not saying this is the only way, because there is no only way. You can do it 18,000 different ways. This is just our way. We're following the instincts that we have when it comes to cooking. You know what's good with butter?
Honey. And usually I'd have just stuck it in like this with more sugar, but I like your idea.
If you'll hold that. Now, how could this hurt?
It's gonna make it good.
We're gonna use fresh honey. Oh, that'll be terrible.
It's gonna be
that
awful.
surely won't be any good. What, quarter of a cup?
At least. I said you did more than
I'm
that.
trying to stop it.
Yeah.
Here, go ahead and run your finger across there, because it's too good to waste.
Yum.
Wow.
Now I just need to make a top. Let's cover this baby up and cook it.
All right. Oh, it already smells good. I'm telling you, the lard. And if you want to have fun in your backyard, you can go to your butcher and ask for pork trimmings or pork fat. You can render your own lard. Look back on our recipe of rendering lard. It's not really a recipe, but a process. You can have it in your own kitchen.
So good. It's gonna make some little air holes here.
That's beautiful.
And another last thing that she used to do, if you want to make the top look pretty, she'd take a little bit of whipping cream. I maybe have not even a tablespoon here. And we're going to add just the egg white. And she always put this on the top. Some people just put egg white. Some people have their own.
That gives it a nice glaze on the top.
She did whipping cream. So, and I'm just going to use my hands. You can use a little brush if you want. Just kind of move this around on there.
Making me hungry, Miss Farmer.
Is it? Gotta wait an hour. And that's what she put on her pies. And I think maybe sprinkle, my hands are dirty, maybe a little more sugar on top, just in case.
Terrible.
All right.
That'd be awful. We don't want any sugar.
Not awful. And we're ready to put this in the oven.
Now, I have an idea. While that's baking, we got a little bit of time to talk to Alan and again show the process of slinging, what you have to do to get your own honey right here in the cabin.
Really?
We got to clean this up first before we bring
All
the
right.
bee stuff in.
I can clean up real quick.
What's that smell like? Heaven?
Yes, it does.
Apple pie
I
heaven?
think it's ready.
All right, let's get that out.
Oh, perfect.
Well, I was taking pictures and putting them on our
Nice and brown.
Country Kitchen Facebook page the other day. Now, as if the house could smell any more fallish or apple-y. This right here smells like potpourri when it's cooking. Kentucky Orchard, Evans Orchard, makes this apple
Wonderful
cider. And we're going to start off with a quart. That is 4 cups in Bangladesh. And there's about a quart. Now,
In a pinch.
this is just a little reminder. It is fall. Let's put about 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, light or dark, it doesn't matter. We're going to put some cinnamon sticks, 3/4 of a teaspoon
Okay, this is a
of
quarter.
allspice. And let's go half on the nutmeg.
Okay.
All right, now, what do we end up with? Oh, I don't know. What is this?
More of your honey.
More fall honey. I'd say let's go 2 tablespoons. Fall honey, turtlenecks,
Cold.
flannel shirts, apple pie. I'm scooting this over here, Al.
Be careful.
Will you please cut me a piece of that?
I will.
I'm telling you what, that is the perfect crust right there.
Yes, it is. It's gonna come out pretty good.
Watch as you dislodge that perfect piece of yum.
Falling
Look
apart.
at the yummy falling out.
Oh yeah.
All right, you know what? You want to share?
This is there. I see all your raisins.
That looks like that might be the perfect piece of apple pie right there.
I like the honey and the raisins. Good job. Still tart, but it's got the sweet.
And you get that little crunch from the pecans. Wow.
If I only had some cider.
Oh, wait. I might be able to hook you up. You get it to a nice little simmer. Serve it warm. Now you could run this through a strainer, but I like mine chunky. All right. Here we ooh, cinnamon stick.
Perfect.
Already in there. Now,
Wow. That's good.
isn't that good?
That's really good. Nice and hot. I like it.
Wow. Of course, that's really, really hot. I'd like to just pour the whole thing down right now. I'm really happy because everything turned out so great, but I'm also kind of sad because you know what time it is?
What time is it?
It's time to discuss the fact that it's actually all about
Good times.
good friends,
Good eats.
good eats. See you next week on Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen.